everyone, and welcome to, as I am now titling this, the RWBYcast Volume 3.
I fucking hate you.
I'm so smart.
This is going to be a bunch of pointless meandering and just a little bit about actually Ruby.
Basically.
Yeah.
Plot won't happen until the end.
Let me just unfurl this scroll for the plot, and here we are. This is what you've been waiting for? Disappointing, ain't it? Well, this is what you got.
So, on this one, basically we were gonna do this at the, before volume, what was it now? Six started. But DA decided to basically binge watch all of RWBY, and he has words. So we are doing it early.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do like a recap before the next season, just to discuss some points.
Oh, yeah. So we got Mike, Ralph, Drew back with us, and DA for the first time.
Drew representing the fandom that has long since given up and have their souls and hearts crushed by defeat. And DA, who, well, already been there.
What are you talking about? RWBY's going strong, my friend.
Nah, there's a point when it tips and a point when it breaks.
hey, I said...
Took like no time at all. God, I'm happy with this.
Oh, boy. I was about to say, you're assuming when I say that, I don't mean we're not at that tip.
Yeah, versus, you want to give DA a...
Your charge can break further, DA. Just give it some time.
Yeah.
Give DA...
No, the Shikon Jewel was only broken into like 1,000,000 points, and it wasn't broken further. Yeah, let's talk about Inuyasha for an hour and a half.
Better than RWBY, I think, at this point.
That's better than part 3. That's what we do.
It got through more plot in one episode than RWBY has in 3 volumes. Whisker! Oh, such plot.
Better than Yang's vibrating arm.
So, where to begin, gentlemen?
I mean, I kind of want to start it off with a discussion of the fandom real quick. Just because DA is pretty disconnected from it for the most part, I believe, right?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so we discussed on the podcast now a lot about, the show and whatnot at length, but Versus is the one who's very deep inlaid with the fandom's current state of mind. So we've coming out of season 5 now. Where do you see the fandom at? Explain it to DA.
Okay.
Are the keys on the nuclear to launch the nukes?
Is Trump president of the fandom? Is this what's happening?
It's like abandoned ship. They got one leg over the bow, just like, are we?
There, it's reaching that point. There are people that are questioning.
There are the people that are the staunch defenders. Like, it's good. It's always been good. It's always going to be good.
Yes, there are those people out there, and there are people that say, no, I'm fine with it, but if it keeps going the course that it's on right now, I'm out. There are people that are just slowly coming forward and saying, okay, maybe that Monty's gone. This isn't going to be as fun as when I joined it, but I'm still going to wait and see what happens. And you still have the zealots that are saying, no, it's perfect, it's fine. Volume 5 is the best volume ever. You all are just being whiny. Meanwhile, criticism towards the show is reaching its peak. More and more people are coming forward and speaking their minds. First it was Fat Man, then it was Celtic, then it was Slick Stick, then it was British Ninja, and now a new person, Vex Viewer, I believe his name is also being critical of the show, and more people are following them and seeing their points, and it's reaching to a point where we now know the creators, Miles and Carrie, know about this stuff. Miles was very open about what he calls brutal honesty and toxic criticism.
There's no such thing as toxic criticism. Get that bull crap out of here.
Oh, you missed it. Yep, this is why I wanted to talk about it.
Ugh. Oh, man. Oh, that's
Drew, explain.
It's a brand new thing that's sweeping the fandom right now because it's recent. Miles recently went on the podcast and even more recently on Twitter talking about how he's open to criticism, but he doesn't like it when people are being just brutal and attacking him personally, which is true. But if you've been following the critics as long as I have, ironically, you would know that people like Fat Man, he's actually softened his tone. He doesn't use vulgar language anymore. He's starting to become he's starting to use more a professional tone. Celtic has never, as far as I'm aware of, been toxic towards the creators at all. But yeah, I agree with you. There's no such thing as toxic criticism. This is just people that want it to be sugarcoated.
But even with the Fat Man thing, he was just speaking purely on his writing ability. He wasn't like, oh, you got a peg leg and you stank. He was just like, you can't write. And he was proving that he couldn't. And Fat Man was proving that he couldn't. So it was just like, okay, this is my opinion and I'm backing it up with these things. And I'm saying that you can't write. So you can't say that's bull crap. Oh my goodness.
And the fandom is, of course, defending Miles, and now it's essentially a civil war.
It's the third civil war. We've officially got full Roman Republic on this.
Oh great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, at first it was a civil. Oh my god. Okay.
We're giving a PTSD, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, the fandom did that already.
Yeah. Okay. So here's DA. You think that's bad? This is. Oh my god. So I've already know about from the last podcast episode you guys did. You hate shippers, right?
Ugh. Hate it.
Oh, prepare to hate it even more. So the one main reason why I'm still in this fan group and whatever, for a wide number of reasons. One of them is because of all the RWBY fan groups that I was a part of before, this one seems the most sane. Like, the admins are equally as critical of the show as people love it. And for the most part, they let the members do whatever they want. Recently, they instituted this new ban that involves shipping in a certain way called Shipping Kids, where people would literally take selfies of themselves, post it on different Facebook groups, and ask people, which ship do you feel I would be the kids of? Would I be the kid of...
Oh my god!
Do I look like the kid of John and Pyrrha? Do I look like the kid of Ruby and whatever male character she's shipped with? That and the admins righteously said, yeah, no, we're not going to...
Yeah, none of this.
Yeah, we're not having that there. People raised in complaints saying, oh no, it's just for fun, it's all for fun, whatever. Of course, the admins didn't back down, and thankfully, I don't see that flooded on my Facebook feed.
But that was a massive thing.
That is still a massive thing.
That's just weird and creepy and like attention seeking. And it's
welcome to the RWBY fan group.
You're not doing this for the right reasons. You're not like, oh yeah, Black Sun, yay, that's fun. You're like, no, me. I'm interjecting myself. I'm RWBY. I'm in this show now. Hey, no, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't dig that. That's that. Well, you're just rubbing me the wrong way tonight. RWBY fan of his butt. I don't like it.
Oh, I'm not much of a fan anymore. Because after I read that, of course, the other good, like I mentioned, the members of this group seemed perfectly sound, because when the admin said, yeah, we're banning this, a lot of fans were posting memes. Like, my favorite one ever now is, I don't know what it is, it's some puppet or something, and it just has the text that says, every day we stray further from God.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So somebody posted that, I liked it, laughed, while feeling a little bit dead inside. And
Yeah, that's funny, but it's a little too real.
And then recently, oh boy, here's another one that I'm sure you're just gonna love. There was this popular theory going around about Crow and his relationship with RWBY,
Oh, sweet God.
where everybody was convinced, I tell you, DA, convinced that the creators, despite numerous times, even when Monty himself was alive, has said, no, Crow is not biologically related to RWBY in any way, shape, or form. Her dad has always been Tai Yang. Crow is not blood related to her at all, but people were adamant that it was a twist down the road, that Crow was indeed RWBY's father, but they kept it secret for so long for reasons nobody ever explains, but god damn it, believe me. And the admins, of course, they debunked this again. Miles said he literally sighed in a text Q&A, so he debunked
He's sick of this.
He's sick of it.
Enough.
Exactly. So the admins screen capped his answer saying, no, she is not related to Crow at all. And they said, okay, from here on out, the Crow is RWBY's real father theory. We're not talking about it anymore. It's done. It's just considered spam, which is against our rules. And since it's spam, it makes it easier to do our jobs. So we're not going to have this anymore. Of course, people were just, again, saying it's all in fun or whatever. This one dude named Jack, I believe. And I was sitting in Black Panther while I was watching this all develop. And he goes and makes a video where he calls out the admin that makes the post announcing that by name, posts it on YouTube while saying, what's wrong with the fandom now?
You're what's wrong with the fandom.
The video just could have been 5 seconds of him pointing to his own face and it ending.
Yeah, but he takes it down. He keeps it all there, but he takes the name out after everybody in the group and the admins, of course, because he's in the group as well. They said, if you don't take that video, if you don't edit that out, if you don't remove that guy's name, you're out of here. So, of course, he did that. And I haven't seen anything or heard from him, anything from him ever since.
Ding.
There he is! He's back! He struck again!
No, it's just people. It's RWBY critics, I know.
Oh God, wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, DA, there's your peek into the fandom. It's just melodrama. And I've said this to people before. We're on our verge of reaching the levels that Undertale and Voltron, Steven Universe, Rick and Morty, we're getting there if we're not there already.
All fandoms have this point where it's just like, okay, back it up right now before you go down a dark path and there's no returning from that path. And it's just like, Pickle Rick! It's like, too far.
You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
It's every time I hear, every fandom has their own little unique weird thing. It's all different. And I'm always just like, what? Really? That whole, who kid do I look like? That's gonna mess with me for a while. That's a whole nother level of just creep self-insert fan.
Oh, yeah.
It gets to a point after you've heard about 10 times, like, online where someone says, like, oh, man, this fandom is so bad, that you just realize all fandoms are bad in various ways.
It's a cult.
It just depends on what level bad you are.
Yeah.
It is a cult. You're right. It is.
I mean, is Monty not viewed as some kind of messiah or something?
Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
I mean,
he is definitely seen as some sort of grand coming of a creative god.
I mean, I'm glad he sparked some. He inspired.
No,
people to be
Monty's
creative.
Yeah, Monty's not at fault here at all. Like,
no, he's not at fault at all. It's just you're taking his message too. You're taking his thing too far. You're taking him too far.
Except for everything has to be a gun. DA hates that. That was a Monty thing.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That is still a problem, and it's gonna continue to be a problem.
Yeah. Would you do you remember the really tall Asian character, Yatsuhashi from Volume
Team
2?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really tall guy. You know, one of the things nobody liked about him was that his sword looked like it was just a sword.
It wasn't cool enough.
What? Not everyone.
Yeah, never.
Why is nobody complaining about Ironwood and his just a gun?
Just a gun.
Because he's not important.
Yeah.
This gun is a gun, but it's also a gun. Boom!
Revolutionary.
Oh God, I just remembered. You have no. Carrie made a joke about, a future weapon will be a gun. So people probably looked at Ironwood's weapon and just went, he kept his promise!
That was like a Hulk cringe.
People are taking this stuff way too serious.
Oh.
You have no idea.
This is ridiculous. The MLP community doesn't take it that seriously. Come on, what are y'all doing?
Oh, but My Little Pony, they have those stupid freaking Rule 34 fan art. And I'm sitting here going, you want to go down that hole? Okay.
Don't even pretend like it ain't out there. Come on, what kind of glass chamber are you living in? Get that bull crap out of here.
I'm sitting here with a miner's hat, and I turn the light on. I'm just like, how far down do you want me to go? You want to go down that route? Okay, let's go.
He's got his canary waiting to just choke on the hentai. Like that's it, man. Oh, it's rampant. It's bad.
It's bad. Especially
people. There was a big thing. I remember in that fan group when you first added me. There was a huge thing of people like adding like the softcore versions of hardcore hentai to the group with a link leading to the actual art.
Yep, the admins made a rule because of that.
Oh yeah, they're like, yeah, no, we understand what you're not sharing is hentai, but what you're leading to is hentai. Therefore, we're done with this.
And I remember that guy specifically. He always has. I can't remember the character's name from Megas XLR, that giant robot show, the fat guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
He has that profile picture, and he always posts these different fan art of the characters, like Ruby. She's like thick now, and Yang, her breasts were just comedic levels of ridiculous. So of course they had to like put a cap on that and said, nope, we're not letting that run rampant.
I looked up Ruby Rose, Ruby, and it's just it's right there.
Yeah,
it's like eight down, and it's right there, just winking at you.
Yeah.
What kind of?
You want to know what? You want to hear something even worse?
Worse than the kid thing? I'm not getting over that.
Okay.
Oh, hello. There's another one.
I don't think it'll be as bad as that or as creepy as that, but Bumblebee, quite possibly the most popular ship of the whole fandom. Originally, it was spelled like you would think it would be, Bumblebee, right? They changed it where the B is spelled BY.
Mm-hmm. Bumblebee.
Yeah, and they say it's because, we did that because BY means Blake and Yang, but there's been a popular rumor or urban legend going around that fan art for Bumblebee was getting so bad that people who have kids and their kids would Google image something on tablets or whatever, it would just be like Yuri fan art and stuff when they were Googling.
No, but the
Bumblebee.
fandom doesn't have any of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
none of that. No,
it's just those people. I'm perfectly sane. There's a lot of that, my friend.
I'm just trying to search for some images on some honeybees, and then I get two teenage girls.
And I see Yang literally on top of Blake, which I am just hoping it's the kissing.
Oh God, why are we here? Why are we here?
Why are we here?
It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go, DA. That's the fandom.
Haven't even broken into the show yet. This is why I wanted to start with the fandom, because this is some of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen.
You can make a show based on the fandom itself.
You could. It's bad.
You can...
I mean, hold on. I mean, DA, do you know how the fandom labels itself?
Oh no, don't do that to him.
Okay, you know how each team is 4 letters? FNDM.
He's muted right now.
Oh.
What happened?
Damn it!
I think he just couldn't handle it. I think he tapped out early.
Oh, well, insert music here.
Yes. Fast forward.
Yeah. God.
I feel bad for him.
Also, Drew, while we're waiting, mute your phone.
Oh, of course. Doing that now.
I used to make that same mistake.
And I'll put this on the carpet so the vibration, because my desktop is glass and that'll make noise.
I bet you he got worked up and like kicked the microphone across the room.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yep.
So I did feel at one point during when somebody said something like a okay.
Hey, sorry about that. The dog, when the dog is just like, hey, I'm thirsty. She an old dog, so it's just like, okay, either I get her something to drink or she might die here and now.
All right, we're gonna come back into you and explaining that. All right, so explain the fandom, Ralph.
So, what I asked the question was, do you know how the fandom labels itself?
The fandom FNDM, I think.
Yes.
Whatever. That I hate labels like that. It's the same thing as like the Steven Universe, where it's like, oh, the Croonerverse. It's like, don't put cute labels on it like that. Just let things be things.
Bronies.
Just let English.
Bronies.
But you know why? Because every time something that comes up is like, oh, Brony shoots up a school. It's like, oh, you Brony. It's like, nah. And then if you're a Brony, you gotta be like, you gotta defend yourself because you got that label on you.
Yeah.
I ain't about that life.
Okay.
Is that why? All right.
That's one of the reasons.
No, I believe you. And after you mentioned that, I'm like, after my problem with my that fandom over there, I understand.
Volume 2 came up and just like, not mine. I ain't who? What's Ruby? I don't know.
It's just stop it. You stop it.
Nope.
You're gone.
We're past that point in our life.
Yeah, some guy just stares at me with a like a snide smile, and it's just like, oh, you like Ruby, Bumblebee, or Black Sun? I just give him the middle finger.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Don't even get me started on the fandom interacting with the Blaze Blue fans.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That voice acting is terrible in that.
I know.
Holy crap.
Oh my god. When non-Ruby fans heard Ruby's voice, they compared her to like Jam from Guilty Gear Xrd. If they said it was that bad, and the Ruby fans were just like, it's not that bad.
Oh, it was that bad. I'm just like, whoa, who directed this?
Nope.
Probably Miles again.
No, he has nothing to do with the game. That's just Lindsay.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, if you mean for the show, then
No, I was talking about the game.
Yeah, but no, the game. The problem with the show and why me and my friends all agree that Ruby's voice in Volume 1 was, I guess let's get into the show from here. Her voice in Volume 1 was fine and good, but apparently that's not the pitch I guess I don't know the terminology, but that's not the style of voice she wanted for the character, the voice actress. So she kept raising it until she went, perfect.
Huh.
And I don't know why. She never explained it, but yeah.
It does seem a little bit squeakier now.
It
is.
Oh, it is.
Go back and watch the first episode of Volume 1.
Watch that there episode.
Yeah, like watch the last episode of Volume 5 and then the first episode of Volume 1. You'll be like, whoa.
Besides the rapid change in animation as well.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah. Disappearing cookies.
And disappearing characters.
And disappearing characters. And the silhouettes.
And shadows, yes.
Oh, boy. There's an actual running joke that Ruby's voice, if Crosstag does get big and it does appear in tournaments, the English voice is tournament banned.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair. What I heard, I'm just like, yeah, get it out of here.
Yeah.
If I pick up this game, it's gonna be Switch, and I like going to English, but man, when the newest English trailer was just like, I'm Ruby Rose. It was like, ugh. White's did fine, but she was just like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually have some like pretty legit voice actresses in the Japanese dub of RWBY.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
the Japanese dub of RWBY is the better version.
As opposed to just who we got. Oh, you speak English, right?
Yeah. Miles,
Come on, you're fine.
Miles, you got a girlfriend, right? You think you could ask her for a favor?
God. Yeah. Oh, you're dating somebody in Rooster Teeth? Guess what? They're a voice actor in RWBY now.
Weiss used to be the secretary for Rooster Teeth.
Yep.
That was her job there.
But then again, Kara's voice acting is actually pretty solid for Weiss.
She is getting better.
I think she's the best one they've got.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of the amateurs. Of the amateurs.
Yeah, she's the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to compare her to fucking Vic or, everybody else. But of the amateur VAs they've got working from the Rooster Teeth crew, Kara is killing it as Weiss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but no, Miles is doing better.
Okay, again,
irresponsible.
Sorry. This is like me and Drew have discussed this multiple times. The biggest mistake Monty made when it came to RWBY is giving either of the lead writers a main character role, which is what Jean was always going to be. It has just led us down a rabbit hole of paranoia, disbelief, and fear. Because we can't trust anything that's happening with this character now just because he's one of the lead writers.
Really? It should have just been, if you're going to have your little John thing, have his season 1 thing with Pyrrha, have it season 2. Don't have him go off with the rest of the Team Ranger. Have someone else. Anyone else. His story is basically done. Just like, I'm going to be back here picking up the ashes. Not literally. He turns the camera. He's just crying, scooping her up into a basket. I'm going to melt down this tiara.
Oh, God!
It's kind of psychotic, don't you think? No, she'll always be with me.
Oh, that thought!
Homie, you've known her for like a year. Are you sure you want to? No, I'm going to lick it.
Hold that thought, DA!
You broken Drew.
Already. No joke. I'm one of the moderators for the group. His name is Max. He's a good friend of mine. He went to RTX, the same RTX that I went to. He actually got on to the microphone. He was one of the people that asked the questions. And he asked the writers personally, how did John get Pyrrha's gear so he could add it into a shielded sword?
Was that in the Fat Man Fallen video?
Yes.
Jesus Christ! They just go, like they just crap out, you bums!
They essentially did. And the voice actress for Yang, she was there, and her only response was, "It's a cartoon."
Oh, you can't say that.
And Carrie, credit to where credit is due. He tried to answer it. He honestly tried, and Miles, of course, was just making jokes, and ultimately he said, "Oh, we'll make a joke about any chibi that explains it later."
I understand.
Chibi.
I understand. I've seen maybe one episode of that, and then I was like, no, thank you. But
Good man.
But I understand you can't look at everything at every single angle. But something that important, where it's just like, why doesn't he have his armor or his shield in the first fight of Volume 4? Oh, he's getting it remade with Pyrrha's metal. Oh, how did he get that? That's 2 questions away, and maybe you should have thought of that instead of just going, he got it.
Especially during that scene with Oblick and Port in Yang's house, when Port says Miss Goodwitch is working around the clock to restore Beacon to its former glory, because that was a whole thing with the newscast where they said Huntsmen are trying to retake Beacon so we can repair the tower. So that leaves you to wonder, how did John, Nora, Ruby, and Ren get past all the Grimm if they were still there? And if they weren't there, then what was the point of that news story?
Like, the easiest thing they could have done is, end of Volume 3, when Ruby woke up, have Crow just put the tiara on her, like, side.
Or not even having him put it down, have it sitting next to her on the dresser.
Yeah.
Like, just have it in the room.
Yep.
With Crow being, sorry, kid, I got there too late. It's that simple.
And then she gives it to John.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that simple. But they left it out because it was more important to focus on Ruby's plot line rather than have this giant plot device that's in the next season be explained.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is Jean's heartfelt moment. This is him coming into his own. He's taking something from the person he loves and implementing it into his own style. It's just like, 1, it's fucking creepy. 2, it wasn't explained. How did he get the gear? And 3, seriously though, where the fuck did this come into play? Like, it's been a few months. So, hold on. Also, at that point, we saw them leave. We didn't see that gear anywhere on them.
No, we didn't.
I only remember Ruby having a backpack. It could have been in there.
Nope.
That was before she left for patch. They had to stop at Beacon along the way.
Yep.
Unless, as the camera was panning up into the sky, he was just like, oh, wait, I forgot something.
Fine, show that!
Or
don't look at the frozen Grim. Don't look at the frozen Grim. Just grab this. Excuse me. Choking on Pyrrha.
What are you? It's like it just cuts to Jean like in that field, and then in season 4 when Ruby finds him, he's not doing warm-ups. He's not training. He's just snorting dust. Jean never. Jean, I'm always here for you. Yeah.
Or he's just looking at her training video, just crying and jerking off. Like, oof.
He mixes in the brownie mix and he says, I must have her power.
Starts trying to control metal like me too.
It's like I'm trying to control poles. Call
you
back
control my pole.
She controlled the Meg towards her. She
oh my
me.
God! Oh boy! Oh man! Oof.
So Pyrrha was one of the better characters, though, for real. Just
definitely.
She had a clear, defined character with clearly defined motives. She had her quirks. She was built up, but in reality, she was this shy thing. She was the best developed and drawn out character we've had. Weiss has now taken that place.
My biggest problem was, as and will always be, they just told us she was good. We saw her fighting against Team Cardinal, who, in all intents and purposes, were 4 bums. And we saw her against Mercury, who wasn't even trying. And we don't know have we ever really seen him trying? So I don't know how strong exactly he is. And we saw her against Cinder, and it's just like that was just a molly-whopping. So we don't know exactly how good she was. If she was just fighting bums, because she was just like, oh, you're the regional champion or whatever. You're on some cereal. It's just like I don't know exactly how strong she is.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. That's the one fault we have was we don't know
her character in a bubble. Good, I like it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
yep.
But that will always stick with me. That she's just like she's strong, she's awesome. It's like show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest
show don't tell, and they just did not show or tell. So it's like, hi.
My only gripe with her was she was that girl that's like, oh, I like this guy, but he likes another girl, so I don't want to say anything. And I'm just there wanting to kick her, say, just tell him. The other girl's clearly not interested. Just tell him.
So many problems can just be solved with a simple sentence. It's just like,
Yep. And speaking of that, you
or
mentioned
snorting the dust of the fallen lover, but
yeah, just hitting like some solid lines of blow. Just go in, man.
Yep.
Like that's how Jean gets better. He's just snorting dust, and he gets like a burst of the ability to control metal.
Hey, you there, blonde boy? I got this new product over here. It's called Fearic Victory.
Fearic Victory.
He wants some of this PYRA.
Oh my god, I remember at RTX that was a thing. This one dude I saw, he had a jar of like I don't know what it was. It might have been sand, but it just said Pyrrha on the jar. And it was supposed to be her ashes.
Someone should have done a Captain Jack with I got a jar of dirt just for Pyrrha. That's awesome.
Have it be Cinder running around with the jar of dirt.
And that same guy got Jessica Negri to sign it, the voice actress to Cinder.
DA loves her.
I know.
Sure, I'll sign. Please just be shattered at the bottom of that ravine, please.
No, she's not dead. She's the main antagonist.
She has a contract until Volume 8.
But does that say how much he talks? Because this could just be a sad Emerald just going, oh, Cinder, I miss you. I miss you too. And that's one more line. We got her. See you in season 7.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We will see. But yeah, I don't think she's dead either.
So now I have a question.
Probably
I don't think
not,
I asked you. Whose delivery did you hate more? Cinder or Raven? DA.
Cinder.
Yeah, it's Cinder. No, it is
Cinder was annoying. Raven was just bad. And she wasn't always bad, but Cinder was always annoying.
Yeah.
How about the one episode that was just them talking?
Oh my.
For 8 minutes.
So I'm just sitting there, and once I cannot remember her name. It starts with a V. The spring mate.
The fake one.
Vernal.
Yeah,
Vernal. Once she died and they were just together, I was just like, no. Oh, but isn't Yang coming down? Maybe they can tag. And they just started talking. I'm just like, and I wasn't doing anything but watching it just so I could pay attention to it. And I'm sitting there like, what am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I need to walk away from
I need adult. I am an adult. No.
Don't worry, little boy. I am an adult.
That whole episode, I was just like, just stop talking, start fighting, please.
Nah.
Just fight.
And even when they were fighting, they were just like, you can't win.
Look who's the monster, Raven.
I can.
Now,
just awful.
On the episode's note, the fight scene. What did you think?
Okay, hey, believe it or not, I have a couple of notes that I'd like to get to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The scroll is, in fact, a thing.
The stage is yours, DA.
So, I'll get back to what.
Yeah, start from the beginning of your scroll. Scroll.
Start from the beginning of your scroll.
I have something that pertains to that fight, and it starts with a question for you guys, and it's very simply, what is RWBY's semblance?
Speed.
What's
Oh,
up
I
with
know.
the rose petals?
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know where you're
What's
getting
up with
at
the
here.
rose petals?
It's supposedly from her cape.
It's
Okay,
just-
but when Crow was around the campfire, he said some people can get hit by electricity and can't die. Some people can burst into rose petals. When he was talking about semblances,
Yep.
and once that was said that was her semblance, and twice it was said that it was speed.
Yep.
So what I'd like to get to with that is RWBY has not shown really any great feats of speed. She was shown running once when she was looking for Yang, and that was pretty fast. But during the Cinder and Raven fight, they're Dragon Ball Z and zip zapping around in the air where they're just lines. In the Crow and Summer fight, they're zip zapping around with the Dragon Ball Z lines. We have not seen RWBY do any of that. So if your semblance is not to the level of these adults, that's like having a super strength semblance, and you can lift 700 pounds, and then there's this one guy that can lift 1,000 pounds with just no semblance at all. He's just really, really strong. So what's the point of having it?
to get better, to get stronger,
To test the limits of her ability.
So
to show that she can still reach greater heights.
where exactly has it been said that the roses is her cape?
I remember. What was that?
Crow is the only one, as far as I know. I know people have been arguing. No. The rose is the thing when people brought up the unique thing.
No, what Pro said that the roses is her cape.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I asked where did they say that?
I've heard that said from like one of the panels at RTX. I literally can't tell you which.
that is meaningless information
I know.
unless it's in the show.
I know. Again, that's literally all I've got. I've heard it said that, not really said like clear cut, but I've heard Miles. No, it was Carrie who hinted that the roses come from her cape. It's just an aesthetic thing. I have no actual words for you on it.
nobody really has any words. It's just there.
Yeah, it's just one of those factors.
Flair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's flair.
So why did Crow say that?
because she bursts into rose petals when she uses her speed. Like for instance, an example of when she used her speed is during the food fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's how she beat Caffeine.
Yeah.
Not Caffeine.
Juniper.
She's shown great speeds maybe 3 times in the series, but there are those 2 times where 4 people have done equally, if not greater, feats of speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's she will get better. That's
Well, I mean,
all can tell
her
you.
semblance, like they said, isn't fully trained yet, like even Versus just said. But then again, she doesn't really need to train her speed. She's got the God Eyes.
Yep.
So that was one part of a bigger problem, and that is the retcons and inconsistencies within it.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
That is something that I would consider a very bad retcon, where it's just like speed, roses, speed. Which one is it? Where does the roses come from? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of other ones in RWBY. Like
You need another scroll.
they go each semblance is completely unique to people, but then a few episodes later they just go, all the Sneeze have these glyphs and they can summon, so it's not completely unique.
Oh God.
Because Summer was seen doing the exact same
Winter.
things. Winter was seen doing the exact same things as White. So it's just like, what are you doing with this? And
Boy.
there are 3 people who have very, very similar semblances. They're not exactly the same, but I can still consider them not being unique because they're so similar. And that's Blake, the guy from Team Funky, and Sun. They can all create some sort of shadow clone. They can do different things, but they're all basically a shadow clone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not unique.
To answer your question about why the the Shnees can have a hereditary thing and they're unique. One guy literally, I brought this up like a while ago, and some guy tried to excuse it away.
Of course they did, because they always do. Boy, you don't know about the Dragon Ball Z people. Oh boy,
And
they'll bend over backwards for their god Toriyama.
I know. He says, "Oh, their uniqueness, even though it's their semblance is hereditary, they're unique because they're not unique."
Yep, I've heard that before.
That's like saying this movie Transformers is good because it's bad. No, shut up. That doesn't...
I know. I bring up Bayformers all the freaking time when people tell me, "Oh, but RWBY's so popular, that must be good." Michael Bay's Transformers. That doesn't mean anything.
It's less than meaningless.
Pretty much. But RWBY won awards, though. Suicide Squad. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because you say it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
You're not placing value on it, so it's just like whatever.
Exactly. I like this thing, so it must be good. That's all it is.
All right.
Go down your scroll. Fun fact, their cell phones are called scrolls, but go on.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Drew with the random RWBY fact.
And I didn't need a number.
Ha 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 ha.
Facts are fun.
Are you sure? Not according to our government.
No, alternative facts are fun. Real facts, no.
Not to Sean Hannity anymore, though.
Okay. DA, continue.
I have a problem with Oz.
You and
Oz.
everyone else.
All right, next point.
Go ahead.
You can't introduce a thing like mind hopping without explaining it very, very thoroughly. Because as it seems right now, at a certain point, he's just gonna take over their personality. Because we haven't seen the silver hair go between his original and the Oz version of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain point, he's just taking over. So he's just like, little Oscar, he's just gone to his family. He just walked out one day and he's just so one day his nephew is gonna come up to him running to school just like, "You're my uncle." It's like,
No, I am not.
No,
so
I'm not.
it's just really weird that it's just like this Piccolo thing where it's just like because he's been shown to just be able to just take over. Because Oscar was just like, "No, don't take over." He's like, "Nope, mine now."
Assuming direct control.
So it's just really unless they start saying that the personality still lives within, and Oz just takes over when he's doing his principal thing. I can't. It's just really, really creepy and weird. It's like, this is the good guy. This is the God who blessed us with the winters and the summers and stuff. It's like
he's not the god. He was cursed by the gods.
But he went on to bless other people with a curse.
Yes,
Yep.
he was to Herman
Air
in
quotes.
the Maiden story. Yeah, blessed.
Blessed them with a curse.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, he's been.
That's how I feel when I think about him.
Yeah.
Like, this is not good.
It's not. He's just apparently he could just give powers whenever he wants, and he just gave the maidens the powers. He gave Crow and Raven the ability to fly. Who knows what he did with Tai Yang, especially Summer, because she was a Silver Eye. So I don't know what his relationship with Ruby's mother is.
He was somehow implicit in a aura transferring machine.
Yep.
Yeah, also, like, we only learned about, like, the specialness, really, like, the details of it, this volume. Basically, we were just led to believe that he was super special in the first 3 volumes, just by virtue of his namesake. That he was named after the Wizard of Oz. That's, like, the only inclination that we have to, like, he's powerful!
And his name doesn't follow the rule for all character names.
Yeah.
Even though technically by the time how many times they stretch that rule, he technically does.
What rule?
Every name has to be a color.
Yep.
Glinda?
Yep. That's somehow a color.
Oh, is it?
Yep. I think, I haven't looked into it, but I think it's purple. It has something to do with purple. Winter, white. Weiss, white. Ruby, red. Blake, black. Yang, yellow. Oz, he doesn't follow that rule.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna get somebody. This is a challenge.
Yep.
Do you need a partner? You know what the sad part is? When I first heard this rule, I thought it was dumb. And the RWBY fans talked me out of it. They're like, no. It makes your OCs sound more official. Like they're more ingrained in the universe. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine.
Just got browbeat.
Yeah, back then before I had a spine.
With tide. Just went with it.
Yep.
Now that tide is a whirlpool.
And I'm hanging onto a rock, just clinging for dear life. I don't want to go down there. That's where the ship kids are.
That's where the ship kids are.
But don't you want to come down here?
Okay.
Stop!
At that point, I'm pulling out the gun and I'm just shooting at it.
The gun.
I've got a gun.
The gun.
The gun.
All right, next up in your list.
Okay, but some of these aren't fair because it's just like Crow is black. Crows are black, so it counts. No, that doesn't count. That's bullcrap.
Ravens are black.
Yeah, that's bullcrap. It doesn't count with things that are black because the Wizard of Oz was green.
No, he lived in the Emerald City.
Yeah, come on. So you can make anything.
So
kings wear crowns, so crowns are yellow, so yellow. Yeah.
Somebody, I kid you not, you can look this up on the wiki. Somebody stretched Salem's name so far that she can technically, her name could mean blue because she's named after a flower with blue pigments, and its scientific name has Salem in it. Ha!
I
Got him!
People just go so far to just justify and accept this I go on the Reddit for DBZ every now and again, and I see so many people when something is brought up, they just go S cells. It's just like the S cells were created not 3 months ago. They don't explain everything. Shut up.
Nah.
Now you know why.
Oh, some people.
Now you know why I have an axe, and I'm like that. I'm like level climbing up walls in Tomb Raider, just trying to get out.
So
bad, man.
So my girl Neo, who is still flying to this day,
Mary Poppins style.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
She just assumes somebody else's identity until she finds a way to get revenge. She's out there.
So, yeah.
This is a huge hint on the disjointment of the writing staff, because if Neo and Torchwick did live, where do they fit in the conglomerate of evil villains? They don't. They don't. So what do you do with them? Kill them. Yep. They're not in jail because they could break out, and people are always going to be like, "Oh, they're in jail, so they're just going to break out one of these days." No, you kill them, and then they're just dead, and then you don't have to think about them.
Yep.
That speaks to the disjointed nature of they had no clue where to go with these two characters. So instead of thinking about something, they just gave them one unceremonious death and one safe landing on the ground and assumption of a personality, and then coming back for revenge later.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, that's
that's what everybody expects. Oh yeah.
What were your opinions on Roman?
He seemed a little try hard. He in both his personality and his abilities, because For some reason, he just got one-shotted by Blake when Yang was pushing her over like, you can't take him, you piece of crap, you can't even take me. And it's just like, phew. Oh no, that was Adam, sorry. But still, Blake just went boom, and then dead. And then it took Yang, not Blake and Son with his gunchucks. Ugh. And they were fighting him, and they barely did anything. But then Blake, I think she just got a really, really strong right hook.
Yeah, she just decked him in the back of the head.
Yeah, she just got the God fist. That's her semblance.
She's Asura's wrath.
She can hit you if she can throw one punch, just one with all the energy she got. If she misses it, she just can't do it again. But if she hits you, you're dead.
Hey! I will not have you compare Blake to Deku, good sir.
Hey,
They're forcing me to because there's no reason. It's just like, take this, Adam. Ow! Goodbye.
I didn't know Adam was gentle.
He's not gentle. People don't believe he's gentle. He's a bitch, but he's not gentle.
I was making another My Hero reference, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, go on, DA.
I have my next one was just Weiss, but I'm gonna save that for later because that's a huge thing that I had several branching points. So I talked about this. You get away from that. Hey,
we talked about this. Get away from that.
You're embarrassing me in front of everybody.
It's all right. Soon she'll be dead.
Mom!
You have no clue.
So messed up.
I'm just worried that she gonna drop dead and like, oh wait, hold on a second, you guys.
And I have a news break. Recent development from the fandom.
Yep.
Okay, a friend of mine, I'm part of this chat with the RWBY critics. Mm-hmm. Somebody just posted a screenshot of a new topic from the group I'm in. It says, Jean is the best RWBY character. Try to prove me wrong. And it's just him in that dress from Volume 2.
Okay, I have a John thing.
All right.
Okay.
I'll mix this in with my Pyrrha thing. Pyrrha was nothing more than a catalyst for strength for John.
Yes.
This is evidenced by the fact that Rin and Nora have said her name, once, maybe twice throughout these two seasons?
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about her. They don't think about her because they're not important to her because they were just teammates. It was like, oh, my teammate died. But for John, it's a catalyst for strength. And
she's the, I can't remember what it's called. Character in a fridge, whatever that trope is.
A woman in a fridge.
Yeah, she's a woman in the fridge, yeah.
Yep.
Where it's just like, this character is just going to die, and she's going to have some moments, but she's just going to be ultimately meaningless for this character, for his strength. There's something big coming with John, and I don't like it. But
oh yeah,
John is another really big problem from season 1 because he wanted to go to Beacon, but he knew absolutely nothing about Aura, even though that's a very common thing in this universe, even though he has 7 sisters, even though his grandfather was a hero of a war, he knows absolutely nothing about Aura.
Yep.
That's very difficult to believe. That's starting a character from an absolute zero just so you can point to them and go, look how much they've grown.
Yeah.
That's very artificial.
And he's two things about that, and I'm glad you brought up him wanting to be a huntsman. Number one, everybody always tries to excuse that by saying, well, he's the audience stand-in. Everybody explains everything to him so you can understand how the world works. The problem with that is you don't write it like that. That's so blatantly lazy. You just pepper that kind of information subtly throughout the series. Like, if Aura is a thing, you show that flickering thing they do when their aura's depleted. You show something like that on maybe like an arm when a character was blocking a punch. It flickers, so you know something is there. And then they will probably again, during the school, they would just say, okay, we have to make sure your aura doesn't deplete in combat. Stuff like that. You organically feed that information.
They're in a school to learn about this stuff. So just have it in a classroom, a 2-minute thing. And that whole thing about him as a surrogate doesn't work because, hey, guess what? There's the world of Remnant about aura. So we got told about it in the show and also in this little side thing, even though they contradicted each other. So which is it?
Many people are glad that the world of Remnant's gone because they can't excuse that it's contradictory information. The fandom's glad it's gone.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah.
But another thing with him not knowing about aura, there's what is this, the 44th tournament that's clearly shown on TV worldwide.
Yep.
And he doesn't know. Somehow he doesn't know.
And he still doesn't know what did he forge on his papers to say that I went to this elite school. Okay, what about your aura? Surely they have a way to gauge it because Pyrrha just goes, you have a lot of it. And they also have energy gauges. So if somebody has to have 1,000 as opposed to somebody who has 500. So there had to be something that he had to write there, or just some sort of wand that they swipe you with to just go, oh, you have this much aura. But he comes in with 0 aura. He could have legit died if Pyrrha didn't want to D.
Yep. Right in the forest, right in the beginning, he had no aura activated. Had he, from that launching pad, hit the ground in episode, what was it, 3, right?
Yes.
He'd be dead.
And Ozpin knew. That's the funny part. Ozpin knew. Glinda was like, I don't care what those transcripts say. He's not cut out to be in this school. And Ozpin kind of has an expression where he knew that John lied to get into school, and he still let him in. And still did that to him.
The form was, would you like to go to Beacon, yes or no?
Yes.
I forged my transcripts.
He actually checked in the middle, unfortunately, but they just kind of took it as a yes.
We weren't
a little bit close. A little bit closer to yes, so
we got the ruler out and it's closer, so
do you like me? Yes, no, maybe.
God.
Maybe
all of the
you're
above.
In.
And you mentioned the transcript, so let me kind of point this out because I made a joke using that funny face from Korra in book 1 when I can't remember what the Tenzin's kid said, hey Asami, did you know Korra likes Mako too? And Korra just has that shocked face of horror. I made a meme of that where I basically said that moment where it hits you that Cardin got into Beacon legitimately and John cheated to get in and John's the hero.
What was his plan when he walked into Beacon?
You think there was a plan? You think the writers thought that ahead?
Just like, here's your huntsman. You go out there and die now. It's like,
here's the huntsman. You go die now.
Nobody in his family, they gave him weapons, but nobody told him how to protect himself. Yep. The very basic thing.
No, they just told him, his mom just told him, don't worry if you have to come back home. We'll welcome you with open arms. They expected him to...
She was set up to fail?
She believed he was going to fail.
He was set up to fail, so it's just like, yeah, you go come crawling back.
Yep. And you know what the worst part is?
Yeah, he probably thinks he's at another semester right now, even though the school's just destroyed. Like, oh, he's probably having so much fun.
I guarantee we'll see his family this season. Guaranteed.
You mean like we saw Pyrrha and Pyrrha's family?
Her dad, who was clearly upset about her dying, and that's just gone.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit in this house while we're in Mistral. Never bother exploring. Oh, hey, doesn't that woman look like Pyrrha?
Nope.
Holy crap, she's back! Oh, I'm so sorry, you're not Pyrrha.
I have her armor on my shield.
I carry her head everywhere. Combat ready! That's right, Ready.
You want a brownie? They're delicious. They give you so much energy.
God.
Oh,
God.
Hey, the fandom makes the joke, so can we.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And that when she's talking to Oscar and she's like, "Oh, Penny and Pyrrha were my friends. I didn't know them for long, but they were my friends." I'm like, that doesn't. We've seen them. Penny, I understand, but Pyrrha, it's like you guys shared what 2 scenes? Don't hand me that bull crap.
They literally interacted with one another, and the deepest of that interaction was Pyrrha just telling Ruby her semblance, which apparently she wants to keep a secret. She also
told that to Weiss as well.
Yep.
Wasn't a one-on-one thing. It was just hey, you're here too, so I'll tell you.
Yeah. Pyrrha's had more interactions with Weiss than Ruby.
Yep.
Weiss doesn't care.
Weiss don't give a shit.
You know who cares? Ruby and Jean, the only 2 people that the story tells them to care about.
But Ren and Nora are going after the bad guys after Pyrrha's death. No, they're tagging along because you guys want them to tag along.
They're tagging along for the fans. And here's another point. So, you got this big Ren, what is it, episode or 2 where it explores his backstory and all of his dad and his destroyed village and stuff. And at the end, it's just like, oh, they're in a relationship now, or they're going to be starting something, or there's the budding seeds of it. And then this season, there was literally nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yep.
Why would you give that little hint and do absolutely nothing with it?
Because consistency is something they don't care about.
And I will tell you why. And I was there. During the
what were you in a war? I was there.
I might as well be.
He was in the fandom wars of 2015.
I was there when the ship wars took place. I tried to save the civilians while everyone else just said burn them all.
I saw the Zeppelin go down.
That's the ship, the airship,
the Hindenburg.
But no, I was there for the Volume 5, Episode 1 screening, and they showed those episodes where Ren and Nora did hold hands, and everyone in the scene just went, woo! Just going nuts.
Of course.
And I was the only one just sitting there with a blank face going, okay, get on with it.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, I know.
Have them sitting next to each other. Have them training with each other. Anything more than nothing would be acceptable. But this was not even brought up. You know why? Because Ren and Nora were not important here. They did nothing. They said nothing. In fact, Ren had one of the most infuriating lines for me, where he just goes, some people say that semblance is your personality. Some people say your personality is your semblance. Other people say it's neither.
Yeah.
So why even say anything about it? It's one of these 3 things. It is literally any possibility is the answer.
I have covered all spectrums of this conversation. Thank you.
So I will go back to meditating.
That was literally just them saying, it's any of these to explain what a semblance is. Fans, sort it out yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Why even say that? That was so dumb.
You want to know how bad that gets? I might as well just be my tagline this entire.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was an interview with Monty when he was alive, and he was talking about Red and Nora, and he said he originally just had them as side characters, and they weren't going to be this big, but, and I remember this quote verbatim, Miles and Carrie were not having it; they were having too much fun. The only reason why Ren and Nora are there is because Miles and Carrie were having too much fun. Whatever that means.
They like writing these characters, so they stuck them in there wherever they could. And now I'm assuming that's why they are there as well.
Yep.
Because
they're fan favorites. My friend loves Nora. She's his favorite character.
Hey, I completely understand. But if I had a team of 3, it wouldn't. I'd bring Nora because she got her lightning thing. Ren, I'd bring Ren. Get John out of here. Bring in coffee. Bring in Coco.
Bring in Velvet.
She's decimating things. Come on now.
Only to be nerfed in Volume 3.
Yep.
Well, they had to do that. The Grim have to be menacing. And we haven't seen them again, ever, except for maybe one time each volume.
When they are there, they're not a threat.
Nope, not at all.
It's like The Walking Dead, where it's like, oh, the zombies, and they're just killing 500 zombies in one strike. It's just like, it's not about the zombies anymore. It's about the people. But the negative emotions, the beacon fell because of the Grim. But what about Pyrrha? Says Jean and Ruby and Ren and Nora go, who?
Yeah. I've been playing Fire Emblem Warriors recently, and you're just mowing down people, getting them in giant chunks to destroy them in a special attack. And as I'm playing this, I'm like, RWBY fans would eat this up if this was a RWBY game.
Oh no, it came out. It's RWBY the game on Steam. It's just terrible.
It stinks. It's so bad. It's almost unplayable.
Almost. And I've heard people say, I've seen 500 hours into this game.
How? Unless you press play, press start, and then just walked away for 500 hours. And just went, yep, there's my achievement. I'm just gonna screenshot this and check this out, RWBY Reddit.
Yep.
Like playthroughs of that game last maybe 2-3 hours completely to get from start to end of the game, story wise, and that's it. I played through it. Like, I played the demo, and I'm like, oh, this looks like it could be something. Like, it's very much rough around the edges, but it's
fucking nowhere.
But it's just a demo. And then I played the game. I'm like, well, this is just a demo.
Where's the finished game?
Where's Marlowe? The game's canon.
Oh, yeah. The game's supposed to be canon. The story in the game is canon.
Yep. So where's
Side
Marlowe?
story. Doesn't matter. It happened in between. It happened in that semester break. It's fine. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Shut up.
It's canon until it's not. Carrie said about the manga.
Yep.
Because you could just say that now.
Because they're hacks. Oh, sorry. That's a toxic criticism.
Yeah, you can't say that, DA. That's mean.
Stop it.
I don't accept that because it's mean.
You're just jealous of his success.
So what do you guys think is the worst volume?
5.
Really? All of y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say 4.
I was going to say 4, and trust me, I bounced back and forth between the two. But to kind of... I would rather have nothing than have something that teases me with nothing and then just rushes everything at the end.
Yeah.
As Volume 5 did.
The disappointment that was Volume 5 overtakes just how... Volume 4 was bland, but not terrible throughout. Volume 5 was terrible throughout.
I will take terrible 100 times before I take bland. Because I was thinking about it, and I can remember so few things about Volume 4. And this is my next point. Volume 5 had a bunch of little moments that I enjoyed. The reunions I liked, with the exception of the last one. Because the last one just seemed like one too many. And I don't particularly like Blake at all. But that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But when with the Yang and the Yang and the White thing, and they hug, I was like, that's a good moment. The end. That was nice. I accept that. With the with Ruby and Yang, where she dropped the plate and was stuttering and stuff, and they hugged, I was like, I don't really care about that. But then they were like, White's, get on in here. I was like, I guess that's kind of all right. I accept that. This was really when I was just on my Weiss is going up on the roller coaster where everybody else was just going down. so Weiss moments was just like, yeah, for me. But small things like that, and there were some good moments in the dinner scene. I didn't A lot of it was just like, wow, this is just bad. People need to learn how to laugh in character and make it sound natural.
Nah,
because a lot of that was just laughter, merriment, enjoyment. It's just like that sounds really fake. Another take. How about it?
The RWBYcast voice acting cast played Final Fantasy X too as well. And their favorite character was Titus.
That's just 10, but yes.
I meant to. Never mind.
10 as well.
There you go.
There we go. And it makes it sort of confusing. But again, 4 was just, and then they just started they had a bucket of plot, and then they just completely overturned the bucket, which has no subtlety or any sort of slowly building towards it. It was just like, oh, there's also these relics that are important. What do they do?
We don't know.
It's been a volume and a half. They have one, and we don't know what it do. They wanted it, but it's just like, what does it do? Does it increase what it's supposed to do? When you get the wisdom one, do you get smarter? Or does it just shoot laser beams? What's the difference between magic and aura and semblances?
Here's how I view that whole thing. Raven in this we have an idea that the relics are powerful because Raven said she wanted the relic because she believed it would give her a chance to protect herself from Salem because she now knows where they are. Raven acts like she's going to betray everybody, only to go and betray Cinder at the last minute. The relic's right there. She's going to grab it. Yang stops her and says, hey, if you take that, Salem's going to come after you hard. Raven's like, you're right. And I leave.
See
ya.
I must go. My planet needs me.
Caw-caw!
No.
It sucks being a bird.
Why was I cursed with this power?
just like a dramatic, like, caw-caw! Just like the dramatic music comes in. Why?
Woe is me.
Cause me.
Cause me. But just think about that train of thought for a second. Raven wants the relic to protect herself from Salem. Yang says Salem will come after her. Relic no longer can protect her from Salem. So, does that mean Salem's more powerful than the relic? Or what the relic doesn't... Is it a weapon?
Who knows? And unless Salem comes after her herself, you've already shown that you have the power to take out a maiden, one of 4 people, one of like 5 people in this world that you could consider magic, and you're one of them yourself, so you can protect yourself against your rank and files, Tyrians and big gorilla guy. But unless Salem comes, it's just like, oh crap. But then you can just teleport anywhere. So what's the problem? That was so dumb.
It was.
Oh yeah.
Raven,
but no, this volume's the best. It answered questions.
That's all you need.
Apparently.
= good.
= award winning.
Yep.
For me, I'm big on, like, I mean, I got into RWBY for the action, and at this point, like, I'm just on the ride for the plot holes. And Volume 4 had the last good fight.
The Tyrion and Crow?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the last good music.
Yeah.
The song that played during Raven and Cinder's fight was like, to me, I'm like, oh man, Jeff Williams, you're phoning it in.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sad.
There was this whole thing that I remember Versus shared with me. There was an interview. I keep saying Versus and Drew. Jesus, it's just Drew. That Drew shared with me that everybody in the fandom was convinced that essentially the music was canon. Like the music was telling the story in between the story. And then in between this season and last season, Jeff Williams comes out and says, yeah, no, that's actually not how it is. The music doesn't mean anything about the story. And then this season comes out and the music is just trash.
It's...
So I think Jeff, maybe he was of the belief that his music was canon to the show, and then somebody at Rooster Teeth is just like, actually, it's really not.
I am thinking, well, that is possible. Jeff doesn't work at Rooster Teeth. He does his own thing.
Because, I mean, before that, literally, Monty would go to Jeff, and they would just sit together for like a week and discuss the show, and Jeff would make the music. And then all of a sudden, now we're hearing that the music has nothing to do with the show's story. It's just, Jeff's quote-unquote interpretation of events.
And all of his songs are either, like, part 2s or 3s of old songs or remixes.
Yeah. So, the music, I think Jeff is just done. I think Jeff was only interested in it up for Monty, because Monty, like, kind of fueled his creativeness. So I think it's just done now. I think
isn't that kind of like John Williams, where he's just like, all right, last Star Wars movie for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. I'm not getting dragged into this franchise.
Yeah. There was a panel. It wasn't at a RTX. It was at some other con. It was right after the whole Shane kerfuffle.
Oh God.
And Matt,
do you know about that, DA?
I know bits and pieces. I've tried to find it, but it's just like this is big, really long letter that's talking about a bunch of stuff that I'm just like.
Versus knows it pretty well. Versus can give.
Same here.
Yeah, Drew and Mike, fill him in real quick because it's
basically one of the animators that used to work at Rooster Teeth was handpicked and brought in by Monty early on. I believe he's basically was like animator number 2 to Monty. He was
like his apprentice.
And he had made some shorts and stuff that were very Monty-esque. Like he made this really awesome like Mega Man 3D animated fight scene. And after Monty died, obviously it hit him super hard. And he was working at the company, and he worked on for most of Volume 3, and then basically they were changing how they did things. They weren't doing things how he viewed Monty would want them to do, and it got to the point where they fired him. And basically just like a lot of shit behind the scenes he aired out in a extremely long essay, and his views and stuff, and what happened, and how they had changed things in Volume 3, and all this other shit. A lot of
things from how Monty had planned them.
A lot of dirty laundry,
to be clear.
Originally, this was a specific part in the letter. Yang was never supposed to lose her arm. Monty never wanted that, and Miles and Carrie were the ones that added that in.
Yeah, because it seems very superfluous. It seems like this is just because Yang really had no character, so this was just a moment to give her character, and now she just has an arm, and it's just like, okay, it's fine. It's like Star Wars, it's like Luke loses a hand, and then like 10 minutes later he got another one, so really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Arguably, this arm is better. So
yeah.
And Yang arguably didn't earn that arm. They say she did, but Ironwood literally just sent her an arm. No question.
Here you go.
Here you go. Literally, here you go.
I don't want it. Put it on.
No. She doesn't want to accept the new normal. She doesn't want to accept that her arm is really gone. Okay. Did we ever learn this in a therapy session? No? Oh, okay then.
But yeah, basically, when that whole Shane thing went down, Jeff Williams was on a panel. And there had actually been other comments by other former Rooster Teeth people that were like kind of on Shane's side too, which led to this whole thing.
Isn't that, I think I heard something about the voice actress for Glinda was just like, yeah, he's kind of right. And then, like, hit the bricks broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was gone before that.
She had her own issues. She had been gone before this.
Yeah. And
that's why Glinda's gone for good. Like, she and the
company by rocks. Shut up.
No, she got
literally
building together.
She literally
died in action. She ran like a coward, spits on the ground.
What did she do?
What?
She called out Bernie's wife for having
Barbara.
No, she called out Bernie's wife for only getting the role in RWBY and getting her popularity because she married Bernie. Like, she's essentially calling her a gold digger. And then she called out Barbara for not being ladylike. and saying her vulgar language and like almost and very adult themes didn't fit the company, quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. But anyways, I want to get to the point I was trying to say about Jeff Williams.
Yeah.
He basically came out. He's just like, there's like a bunch of crap that's happened to the company, and he said there's only two people that I trusted at Rooster Teeth. That was Monty, and that was Matt Hullum, who's the CEO. So basically, that's the only reason he's still on is because of Matt. Only reason, apparently.
The only reason. And he's the only person he trusts out of everybody there. Not even Barbara.
Well, he doesn't talk to them, really.
But that's what I was about to say, yeah. It's like
he only had close relationships with Matt and with Monty. Like, he was brought on, I think, to do the music for Red vs. Blue originally from Matt.
Yeah,
like, he knew... He did some music with Trocadero, who does most of the music for Red vs. Blue, and then they had him branch off and do his own stuff for 7, 8, and 9, but that's when he met Monty, doing the Red vs. Blue seasons. Yeah, that's why the music, I feel like, has taken a nosedive.
Yeah.
Yep. That and Miles and Carrie just don't know anything about music, and they're just like, we need another, this is another day, go.
Yeah, it essentially, again, this is Monty's project, so we could go to somebody and be like, hey, listen, these are the emotions, feelings, this is the thought behind it. You can give an artist, like, a genuine understanding of what's going on. Miles and Carrie are kind of just filling the shoes. They don't have any investment in the series, per se.
It's just like, get a song that would fit here.
Exactly. It's more their job rather than their project.
Yeah, character themes aren't a bad thing, but you can evolve upon them without having a 0.05 version of the song.
I mean, and that's a problem that I had with Volume 5 and Weiss when she starts doing her airplane bug attack thing, and then her "I'm Not Your Slave" song starts slumping. I'm just like, that seems kind of on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Your scroll.
Oh man, that's. I want to talk about this. This is because I have, and I'm sure you guys don't, but I'm sure there's a panel out there that hints at it. But I think the Silver Eyes is one of the dumbest things.
Oh, it is.
That I've seen in really any fiction, especially since it's not explained what it can and can't do. It seems important because she has it, her mom has it. And it could just like obliterate Grimm's. The Grimms fear those with silver eyes, but it's just like, why is it important other than it's just a Grimm obliterator? And of course, Ruby Hazard's your main character thing. It's like, yeah, that's a bit too convenient, but whatever. I think it would have been better if that had just not been there whatsoever.
Yeah,
I agree.
It was not needed.
There are two things I will say about the Silver Eyes. One, the only other detail that we know other than the whole Grimm fear on that legend is that Salem has dealt with Silver Eyes before in the past when Hazel, the big gorilla guy, passively said about Ruby, we dealt with... Excuse me.
How rude.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Okay. Hazel said, we've dealt with her kind before. Now, kind can mean anything. That could be a clan. It could be a lineage of Silver Warriors. I don't know, other than there's been more than one, besides possibly Summer even. And the only other... And the second thing I have a problem with the Silver Eyes is now Cinder is part Grimm now. So
Kidding.
Was.
Kidding.
Was. She's dead. Don't ever. She's gone.
Oh, okay. That removes that problem, I guess.
Hey, you know who the last person she thought of? Neo.
Please.
So this is random thought, like, well, I wonder whatever happened to her. Oh no, I'm frozen. And she's just sitting there having tea, like, uh-oh, I can control lightning now.
Why is my tea frozen? I didn't ask for this ice.
Just like sitting there, and just all of a sudden, this entire shop just like, like
hurricane winds.
That's new.
She doesn't even notice. She's just like, where'd everybody go? I'm sure I landed.
She's still flying.
No, that's how she gets
blowing farther. Like
That's how she gets to Yang. She opens the umbrella, opens the wind, she flies up. I'm gonna get you, bitch.
That's the end of volume 6. It's like, oh, this is getting really bad or really good.
Wow, DA, you somehow made Ruby better without even trying.
Oh, I would love that so much. Just bring back Neo. She had the best fight.
But she's not that good of a character.
The train
there was no place for her.
She was not a good character, DA. She didn't talk. I've heard fans say that.
The train fight you're talking about, though?
I love the train fight.
It was a good
Me
fight.
too.
But there are a lot of characters in fiction that do not talk for one various reason or another. But for those characters, and I love that archetype of characters, for those characters, you always have a built-in set big moment for when they finally do talk. Because it's always something important that they say or do that makes them talk for the first time. So you just wasted a big moment, just gone.
And
Think
for
of
me,
think of Rugrats in Paris when Chucky first did Dad, it's like, oh, that's awesome. Nah, screw it.
Yep. For me, the reason why I like Nia, despite the fact she can't talk, it's kind of the same reason why you were happy with Cinder being muzzled or whatever.
Muzzled!
Yeah. Neo not talking, you just rely on the animations, her actions, her little gestures and whimsical nature. I know more about her character than I do anyone else.
When Salem goes, did you kill Ozpin? And she looks away from her, and then it's just like, she knows she didn't kill. She's like avoiding her. It's like, that's good non-verbal stuff right there.
Yep.
No.
I do believe that I did. And yeah. I just wish Salem was just like Emperor Snow was just like, cut that out. That's dumb. Stop talking like that.
If you believe the fan art, she'll probably get a ball gag eventually.
Oh dear God.
Yep.
It's the muzzle.
It shuts her up.
So I skipped over this one, unfortunately. I don't know why I did. It's just 2 words that I talked about this with Pro very briefly on text messages, but Crow's semblance makes no sense.
Yep.
And I hate it.
Oh yeah.
Never brought up again.
Never brought up again. It's supposed to be, and I also saw that I think it was Fat Man falling. No, it wasn't Fat Man. No, it was somebody going Crow, because I was thinking about this and I'm like, what's the deal with Crow's semblance? And I looked up a video, it's like Crow's semblance explained, and it's just like, okay, he can activate his aura to initiate bad luck. He doesn't know where or when, but he always has like this passive bad luck around him where something's gonna happen. Doesn't matter where, but he can influence something happening by shooting out more aura. And I'm like, that's dumb. But then it's just like, oh, that's why he told Ruby to stay back so she wouldn't be affected by the bad luck. Like, okay, that makes a little sense, but it has not come into the story whatsoever except for that one little. That's why I say volume 4 is worse, but it's not coming to the except for that one little episode. And Pro was just like, he said hiccup, but Pro was just like,
that's exactly what I said, by the way.
I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm working on my Neo cosplay. Shut up. But he said
Please.
Oh man,
Yo, my con.
please.
He said that a lot of the things that are bad happening to the RWBY Goo, the Team Ranger, could be attributed to his bad luck. I'm like, that doesn't, with something as nebulous and random as bad luck, where you don't have a set way to tell what exactly is happening. It'd be one thing if it was like a Rube Goldberg machine or a Final Destination where you can see these things tipping over and this thing hits this thing and this thing hits this thing, or a pot falls on his head and it's got like a black aura around it, like, oh, that was just because of his bad luck. But anything that happens from here until he goes away from RWBY could be attributed to not the story or circumstances around what a villain is doing. It could just be, oh, that's just his bad luck. And that's not narratively satisfying.
But it is, though.
Next point.
Next point.
You know what? I didn't think about it like that. You know.
But it is. You're right. Typical RWBY argument. Nuh-uh.
What do you mean there's rules in writing? Chekhov's gun. What?
Oh God! Don't do this to yourself.
He gets poisoned. It's just like he gets cured. It's just never a factor again.
Or he could just turn his semblance off or his aura off or something, and he's fine.
And he's fine because we've shown that we can turn aura off now. That's a rule. And in order to activate your semblance, you need aura. So just deplete your aura when you're at a neutral state, and hey, you're fine.
That's why he's always drinking. It neutralizes his aura.
Don't you think you had enough, sir? I need it.
Bad
things will happen.
Your life depends on it. I saw that glass.
Top shelf shit or the bomb goes off. What bomb? I don't know, but it's there.
It could happen. Oh, here she comes. Give me a drink, quick.
I don't care if it's bottom shelf, fine. Oh, during Volume 4, I always wondered, how did she get in that bar without anyone noticing? Oh, she flew in. What a curse.
You're just like, I love they're like at the out to the bar arguing, and then they just both wanted to leave, and they just turned to birds, and you see these birds like flying into the ceilings. God damn it! Why'd they get in here?
Why? One of them flies away, the other one's like, oh yeah, shit on the table, that's very adult.
One of them just steals a bottle of whiskey. Hey!
How did he do that? He's a bird! He's cursed, don't worry.
Oh boy, alright.
Okay.
Still going.
Yep.
I don't like the faunus being treated like this is some sort of a curse. They're better than humans.
Adam said so.
Just looking at Ilya, she can camouflage herself. They said she can pretend to be human, but just camouflage herself. She can, in the dark, she can just camouflage herself to the point where somebody who can see in the dark cannot even see.
That doesn't make sense!
Yes, it does. RWBY argument.
But her clothes weren't camouflage. Yes, RWBY argument. What about her weapon? Shut up. Were her eyes not camouflaged either?
Shut up. Who do I look like? What pairing do I look like? Quick.
Yeah. I ship Bumblebee. Oh!
They just start random shipping arguments to get out of an argument.
They just slip out the back door. No, they turn into birds and fly away.
They shoot the lights out because they can see in the dark. Wait, no, they can't.
Not anymore.
But there were big group shots with faunuses, and there was like this one with like fins and all. Like, that's a good swimmer. Blake's dad, he starts growing claws and he just apes out. I'm like, he's a good fighter. We don't know his semblance. He's just murking fools. Why are they being treated like there's something? It doesn't make any sense. Velvet, just looking at her, she looks normal. She puts on the hat, it's just like she's normal, but she's like, oh no, she has ears. Persecute her. she must be. It's like that doesn't make
Freak.
And they have not definitively told us outside of like this vague war that they talked about and like discrimination, why they are being discriminated against, and I do not understand.
They're just different. It's just an on the nose, like Fat Man did a video on the racism and he compared it to 2 other series. And he says that despite how poorly it's handled, RWBY could show a unique quandrum about a fantasy race that is supposedly better than the dominant species and what would happen if they suddenly took over, because they very well could. And that's a huge moral problem to have. And RWBY just doesn't do anything with that. They just say, oh, no, people are just assholes.
And they're not going to do anything with it because the faunists are now on the human side. And now it's just like, oh, the faunists are fighting for humans. We accept them now. And they're not going to touch upon them. They're going to, what are they going to? Atlas, I think?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to be dealing with faunist rights during this. It's just going to, so it's just like, this is just a non-issue. This was 5 volumes of vague persecution.
The only other indication that faunists have been discriminated since Volume 1 up until now was a no faunus allowed sign in that bar. Yeah, and that's it.
But I can understand if it was something like a horse faunus where he's just crapping everywhere. But just your rank and file. I'm a little bit.
That's all he has. That's all he has.
He has no horse benefits other than crapping everywhere.
I hate my life.
That's the only fault.
Nay!
Why couldn't I have gotten the legs?
He just has the tail that just involuntarily lifts up every like 2 hours.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I can't control it.
Bojack's just in the background going, what an asshole.
What an animal. Making the rest of us look bad.
Well, his name would have to be Brown themed. We gotta think of a name right now. It has to happen.
Stayed.
Wow.
I don't know. That was on the spot.
Oh,
Silver.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He just runs out after he crashes. He just goes, "Hi ho, Silver, away! Clean this up!" You know what? No faunus allowed.
I can't hear you. There's a damsel in the distance that needs my help.
He's the reason. He's the reason for the racism.
Yep.
Oh boy.
All this shit everywhere. Literally.
No, but you got that bat faunus that's just flying around. It's just like, that seems beneficial.
Wasted character.
No, he wasn't.
He got dumpstered.
It's fine. Wasn't he taken out like by like a tea tray or something?
Yes.
Yep, he did.
Blake's mom,
Collie,
who was just fucking lightsaber blocking bullets with this tea tray when there was like cover all around her.
No, but you see, she imbued her aura into the tea thing. Prove me wrong.
So she has Jean's.
Oh.
Yeah, see, it's not unique. But Miles said, "Shut up."
But that's just a big thing with me. It's just like,
it was Lanny. Lanny Pator was the guy voicing him.
Yeah.
He was also the bar guy.
No, I thought that was Chris Sabat.
No,
it was him doing basically a Piccolo voice.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's why. Okay.
But yeah, it's just like Blake is hiding her ears. It's like, why? Discrimination, vague discrimination. Cardinal starts picking on you. You could murk him.
You murked the racist guy, Roman.
Easily.
But no, I can't. School rules. So bullying's allowed? Beat the crap out of him!
Also, we never got a clue into their abilities at all.
Nope.
No.
Like, Cardinal's mace I guess it's a bomb mace.
It's a grenade mace, I think.
I guess.
It's a grenade that shoots guns.
I pull this pin, I shoot you, you die.
You don't die by bullets, you die by explosion. Pick
Or-
your choice.
The shrapnel is bullets.
Shrapnel's a bunch of little guns.
My weapon is the grenade gun. But you mean grenade launcher?
launcher?
No. Grenade gun.
This is my grenade launcher. It's also a gun.
Each of these cost $5 million for one. You know how expensive it is to pack mini guns into this grenade?
I'm just being versatile.
Nobody's expecting it though.
Exactly.
I've killed so many.
I
I've
killed
been
all
banned
of
from the
Grim.
tournament.
I've also shot myself at least 36 times, but user error. All right,
It's a prototype. What do you want?
continue on your list.
The last two are Blake and Weiss. So which one do you want?
Let's go with the one you hate first.
I don't hate Blake. I just don't particularly care about her because her. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. I know that side. It's just like I liked this character one time.
Oh my god. You
Once
read me
upon
like
a
book.
dream, it was just like, yep, there she was.
Yeah, shit, there she was. Goodbye.
There
On the
she
phone.
goes again.
There goes my hero. But yeah, there's the if I was to point to the importance of the characters by what the story tells me, it'd be Ruby and then Blake. Because volume 1, it was just like fun and stuff. Volume 2, it was just like, oh, she's staying up all night worrying about the fun and stuff. Volume 3, it was just like, oh, here comes Adam, fun and stuff. Blake. Volume 4, she had her own little adventure, and that really didn't connect to the rest of them. Everybody else found their way to come together, and somehow affected. Weiss was caught by the mom, and Yang went up there, but she was just on her own little island, almost literally. But another thing, man, these hiccups. I would have liked if any of them had parent problems that dealt with all of their parents are too important. None of them are just like just some people. It's just like Summer was a great hunts person. The Schnee family, super influential. Richest family, and the Belladonnas are the richest family. It's just like I would have preferred if they were just people. And when Blake goes up to her family, like, oh, how could you still love me after
That's the thing. Fucking Gira was the leader of the White Fang. You think when she would have signed up at a school with her name?
With her face.
Yeah, where they're just like, wait.
My daughter doesn't wear a bow. That's not my daughter.
I brought that up before with the fandom, but the person said, oh yeah? Without Googling it? Name me 5 world leaders. Go.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
His whole argument was not everybody knows every important person in the world. I'm sitting here, do you know who Martin Luther King Jr. is? If you don't, I'm gonna punch you.
You know the head of the biggest terrorist group?
The guy that started it?
Yeah, like, basically they would have been saying, like, who's Osama bin Laden?
There's one faunus organization, and he's the head of it. Surely.
He's the head of arguably the 5th kingdom in the whole world that has a giant faunus population.
He basically owns Faunus Island.
Exactly. And this guy's coming at me and saying, oh, well, not everybody at Beacon knows that. Weiss did it? You're saying Weiss is stupid?
When she's so racist?
Exactly!
Surely you would have to know your enemies. I have to assume, because she goes, I'm a victim. I guess I'm transitioning into Weiss. She goes, I'm a victim. So that tells me that her parents must have been at least semi, because Jacques was just putting on a brave face, like all of our fathers employees are treated well. He was just putting on a brave face. That's just what I think. But she was like, I'm a victim. So it had to come from the home. So you would think that he would just go, oh, there goes that giant monkey, that giant leader monkey. You would think that he would have said that and she would know. But
she does know. In Volume 1, she talked about why she was so racist against the Faunus, and her exact words about growing up with that is she said she had a tough childhood. So it was at the home.
So they should have
known who the Belladonnas were.
Especially since they're the leader. A lot of things could just be changed with one word. Or one sentence. And it's just like, her just going, oh, the Belladonnas, ugh. And just showing that she has some sort of acknowledgement. Because the Faunus organization, the White Fang, they had a protest on TV, televised.
The White Fang attacked a Schnee Dust Company train. And since the White Fang was started by the Belladonnas, Weiss could have made a snide remark saying, if that Belladonna had died in a riot or something, I would have grown up with all these issues. That would have been set Blake off to drop her cover or something. A line could just fix everything, but they don't.
Line. And her racism was just it was a really big deal, and it was just nothing was made of it. Nothing. It was not resolved really.
She just doesn't care.
What I would have done was have them sitting together, maybe at lunch, and it's like it's a long table. You got picture a square. You got Weiss top left. You got Yang next to her. You got Blake bottom right. You got Ruby bottom left. And it's just like Yang she's talking, but her body is just sort of turned away from Blake. And as the series goes on, don't make anything of it. Don't talk about it, but just have her turning towards Blake to talk to her. Have her switching seats with Yang so she's facing Blake. Have her maybe sitting next to her and just slowly show that she's like, okay, I'm accepting the Faunus. Have her just go, Blake, you're one of the good ones. And just have a little bit of a tug of the collar moment. But there was just nothing. It's just like, Blake, you worried us. You darn Faunus. And then that was just it.
I'm so glad you were like all the other cats and knew how to came home. Just something. And Blake's like,
something. She's like, I don't appreciate that, but thank you. And she just goes, I'm trying.
Well, Blake just kind of narrows her eyes at Weiss, and Weiss is like, look, I'm trying, okay?
I'm trying. What do you want from me?
Try harder.
I'm racist. What? I said it.
Yeah.
The first step is admit it. But it comes down to this, the big inconsistency in characters. Because Volume 1, Weiss wanted to be in a team with Pure, because she's like, the smartest person in class with the strongest person in class will be unbeatable. And it's just like, she's very, very arrogant. Where was that after Volume 1? What led up to her being, except for that one talk with Professor Mustache, what led her to just go, maybe I shouldn't be so arrogant? What made her think she was the smartest? Simply because she was a Schnee? I don't know. There's nothing said about it. She's just like, I'm the smartest. Why? She's just arrogant. And a lot of characters just have a starting point, like, and then it's just sort of fall off a cliff, and it's just like, okay, they're a new character now. Weiss is very calm and mothering, like I said, that's one of her traits. But then she also, when Raven was just like, your tea is better cold, and she's just like, you're aggravating, you're annoying. I'm like, where is this coming from? She could kill you
easily.
So things like that, it's just like character inconsistencies bother me because I can't pinpoint a character if you do that. I like Penny because Penny was always Penny. She was never not just this upbeat, laughing, oh, this is great sort of character.
She was always socially awkward because she just didn't know how to behave around people. Because Ironwood never really gave her a chance.
Exactly. But Volume 1 trailer, Yang, she's grabbing nuts and just getting drinks and just demanding. It's just like, where? Volume 2, where did that go?
Oh, I was about to make a "ya heard" joke, but you said Volume 2. Yeah.
Character inconsistencies bother me. It seems like they are getting to the heart of these characters now that basically Blake and Yang have had two big character. I think their character explorations and evolutions are basically done. They're going to be very static from now on, maybe learning a thing or two, but I think they're basically done. But Weiss is just like, yeah, she had a little family thing, but you know, we've seen 2 scenes with Whitley. What's their relationship? She one of her first lines to her, it's like, you changed. It's like, we didn't see the change. You're just saying that there was a change.
That was foreshadowing.
Of course it was. Because they're going to Atlas.
Yeah, of course it was.
I'd like to see her mother. That's what I want, that relationship.
Yeah. We don't know if she's like an alcoholic because she was drinking in the garden or she was just having tea. We don't know.
But I think that's where she's going to get her big character stuff, and then she's going to be static, and then we got RWBY for the rest of the series. But again...
Well, no, you forgot about John. John needs at least 8 more character arcs.
Yeah, he needs one every volume.
He had the emotional cry, and then he charged after Cinder, and RWBY chased after him, like always.
Well, no, and RWBY did have a character arc. I'm mad.
I'm mad.
Cut. How are you a team leader? How are you the team strategist where you get so baited where she's just like, I don't remember you. Oh, I remember you. Pyrrha. He's like, like, dude, that was so clear. Just a freaking bait. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
That wasn't even baiting at all. She legitimately didn't remember him.
Yeah, she saw him twice.
She was like, who are you again? He tries to kill her. She beats him. And she's like, oh, yeah, I think I remember you.
Look at this shield. Do you remember me? I recognize the circlet on the shield. No!
Did I beat? Where'd you get that? There was Grim all around that thing.
Shut up!
Chibi!
But yeah,
yeah.
I'd prefer that he died, and he died quick.
Me too.
It's just like, John suffered a heart attack in the middle of volume 5 and 6, so that was sad.
Just like the leading guy from Pacific Rim. He gets cancer off screen and just dies.
Off screen. Apparently that tiara was holding back Pyrrha's immeasurable radiation. The guy, the shopkeep is dead, and now John is dead.
You know, uranium's magnetic, apparently.
It was just some Broly thing. She had to hold back her power. I don't know.
Yeah, it was broccoli leg weights.
You know what? We do have to talk about the greatest character in RWBY, though, now that you kind of mentioned the DA. Not that shopkeep, but the shopkeep.
The old guy who is also the soup keeping.
Of course.
Like, how many jobs is he like really in debt or something? What's going on with this dude? He's also a truck driver. I'm like, wait, do they just have one old man model?
Yep.
It's like, oh, this is a running joke, but it's also kind of
yeah, it's a joke. Can't you people have fun? It's just a joke. Don't take it seriously.
RWBY argument.
RWBY argument.
Oh,
I do want to go, yeah, you brought up Blake, and
You've activated my trap card.
it's not a trap card. You just flip the switch. It's that simple. Now, okay.
Where to begin?
Where to begin?
He pulls out his scroll.
There is no greater hate than a hate that was once love.
Falling out of love. Yep. When everybody else was hating on Blake, for the longest time, everyone's saying, she's just a stuck-up bitch and all this other crap and whatever. And this is especially prevalent because Batman kind of brought it up, where Blake seems to exhibit signs of the spectrum, I believe, in his, like, top episodes or whatever. And that kind of reminded me of why I liked Blake, because while everybody else is saying, she's a bitch, she doesn't like anyone, that's why she's always alone, and I was like, no, some people like me just prefer to be alone. That's why her jumping character wasn't so weird. She acclimatized to the team and to their antics, and she just got used to it. Kind of like I got used to my friends, and still do. What really got me angry and made me just jump that ship, I'm like, nah, I clearly see this is sinking.
I loved watching this all happen in real time, day by day, week by week.
Yep.
By the way.
I know you do. It's why I do it.
Just for you, Ralph. Just for you.
Oh, yeah.
What made me start to hate Blake was how she backpedaled, or why she explained why she left Yang and her friends the way they were. Because when she left, RWBY was still unconscious. Like, completely, supposedly unresponsive because she used the Silver Eyes for the first time. Yang lost an arm, and Weiss was taken against her will by her father, so Adam could have easily picked off Yang and RWBY, no problem. And he said he was going to do that, and I'll get to that asshole in a minute. And Blake just turned tail and ran. And her only excuse was, I hope they hate me for leaving. Right. I'm like, you are literally leaving your friends to die. And you think you're fine with that. You're not going to go back because you're just like, I don't want to fight the White Fang. So you're not going to go back eventually. So you're just leaving Yang out to dry. And I just can't get behind that. And no, there's no redemption for, someone could get killed and you willfully let it happen because it's going to happen. And you're like, I'll just let it happen. Better Yang than me.
He's got an army behind him.
Exactly.
They could just bust. It's not hard to find out where they live. They could just bust in there, slit your throat in the sleep. It's just like she opens up a newspaper like, yep, Yang Xiaolong dead.
Exactly.
And then what? She's like, oh no, it was my fault. And then that's just more self-loathing. And it's like, you could have prevented this.
You could have prevented it easily. And that's not counting RWBY, who she doesn't know if she woke up or not. She could have been in a coma for who knows how long. Who cares? Well, I'm sorry. She's sad about it, but not motivated to go do anything. So that is what made me start to dislike her. She just left her friends out to die. As opposed to the character in Volume 2, where she was just like, I'm the only one that can take on the White Fang. If none of you are going to go after them, then fine. I'll go after the White Fang alone. If she was that worried about Adam and all this other stuff, she should have been ecstatic that RWBY was not helping. When RWBY suggested, we'll help you take down the White Fang, Blake should have just said, no, I'll take care of this myself. Volume 4 just somehow systematically made me go from, no, Blake's a good character, she's just misunderstood, to go, yeah, you're all right, she's terrible.
I can't hold up this wall no more.
Nope. There's only so many there's only so many holes in the dike I could plug up before I just go, fuck this, I'm out.
This wall is actually made of crackers, and it's really wet, and it's soggy, and I can't. Look, I'm tired.
I had a long day at work. I can't do this.
She sucks. Fine, you got me.
You got. And the funny part is, as I'm standing there drowning, there's all the Blake haters throwing me a line, going, "Don't worry, we'll pull you out. Don't be like everyone else where they're just like, no,
leave me behind. Just go.
It's too late for me.
Carry on my will."
My long will, which is beat the crap out of Miles. Because he admitted everything that happened to Blake in Volume 4, it's his fault.
Oh, yeah, he just wanted Blake to have that kind of character arc.
Yeah. He admitted in the Volume 4 commentary that he wrote most of the Blake stuff.
Yep.
That's dumb.
Yep. He dated Erin, by the way, the voice actress. They're not dating anymore.
They're amicable, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I literally saw them talk to each other in a very friendly greeting at RTX last year.
That's good. I'm happy.
At a party. But, so, like, one of the things that to me, fascinates me about Miles in particular is comedy writing. He is actually pretty good at comedy writing. The
season 2 was great.
The seasons that he wrote and directed of Red vs. Blue are some of my favorites, in all honesty. He did.
Again, I've discussed this with Versus. I genuinely think it's because of the fact that they're filling Monty's shoes.
Oh no, I agree with this, but I'm just saying, like, in a more comedy centric position as far as like him writing, I feel like he has succeeded. That he can be good, but it's something with drama.
He's better with episodic content where he doesn't have to chain events together. Like
RWBY was episodic. His 3 seasons were episodic.
I haven't watched RWBY in years, but
yeah, it was a trilogy. Like, it was a full-fledged story from front to back.
Right. I'm just saying, I also heard that also wasn't very good.
Like,
but
he
again,
also had
I haven't watched it.
He also had advantages of very much established characters of the Reds and Blues. He made new ones. He also inserted himself as the main villain, but that's
yeah.
But
Felix.
But overall, like, I enjoyed it a lot. The storyline that he presented and what have you. But maybe it's trying to create more or basically creating characters from the ground up and going a more dramatic in a dramatic tone that he just can't do well. I don't know.
I talked about this with BG during the Dragon Ball cast, and we were talking about the super writers and how they have to create their own interpretation of what Toriyama wants, and everybody would do something different. And I said that, if it was me and you, it was just like, okay, let's create a super thing. I'd be like, okay, I would focus on character stuff because that's what I believe is most important. That's what I like, and that's what I'm good at. And BG was like, he would focus on plot stuff because that's same thing. He believes that's more important. That's what he likes. That's what he thinks he's good at. And if they were just to me just go, okay, no character, just plot stuff, I'd be like, I don't know. And same thing with him. So you need to focus on what you're good at, accentuate your good points, and hide your flaws. Yeah. If you're not good at writing plots and stuff, bring somebody else in. Do a big cable reading, a big table pitch. Go online and see what the fans are talking about.
Oh, but you can't do that because criticism is just mean.
Ugh.
And the
can't take negative advice because if you're not being told you're doing amazing, it's just toxic criticism. Remember that you just answered your own issue there with that one.
But surely, if it's something this big and this criticized at this point, you would go on the Reddit and just. I'm sure there was a big "What did you think of the season?" Post on Reddit.
They have those. They have.
But you want to hear the thing?
Sit down and read that and just go, okay, people aren't digging John for this reason. Change it.
It's
those comments, and Versus can attest to this, get bombed with downvotes and are ignored.
And they only take it from Twitter, and they hand select whichever question they want on RWBY Rewind. So they act like they're doing that, but
in reality, they're doctoring what they're picking and not showing the negativity. All they're showing is the positive.
I remember Mike said this, and there's on the RWBY forums, there's like a thumbs up, thumbs down system, and the bad stuff about the season got the thumbs up, and the hey, it's pretty good got the thumbs down. Take the criticism to heart and just go, we need to expand more on this. We need to lessen this. Just you've got at least a couple 100,000 fans. Let's just be conservative. You've got a couple 100,000 fans. Everybody wants something different. Everybody likes different things. But they have they have a convention. They have the benefit of knowing your fans, hearing your fans, and being able to respond to them directly. If there's a general consensus of we don't like this and we like this, maybe you should lean more towards the we like this. Not like bring Pyrrha back to life. That's just ridiculous. But if it's just like maybe lessen John a little bit, maybe give RWBY a little bit more of a character arc, you can go, okay, we'll take that into consideration. Instead of just going, nah, they're not telling me I'm amazing, so...
Miles has said he's doing that, but they've also acknowledged that Volume 4 was not very well received, and they said, okay, we now realize the scope and just the sheer responsibility of handling this massive property now, and we got Volume 5 from that. So when they say we took most... That's the key word there. We took most of the criticism, and we are going to do our best. So...
Volume 5 is their answer to the criticism.
Really?
Yes. You know those jokes in episode 1 where Nora went, whose suggestion was it to walk again? That... Everybody complained about, Volume 4, Ranger just walks place to place.
Yep.
So
they make a joke out of it. That was their response.
Device called putting a lampshade on it. They call out how ridiculous it is, so you can't criticize them because the characters did it themselves.
Yep.
Even though the characters only said that because you wrote it.
Yep.
That's just something it frustrates me because I don't view movies not anymore the same way people do. I review it and be like, okay, I could see why they written it this way. Oh, that was really great. Why did they do that? That makes no sense. And try to dissect it. So what people
it's like us
tell
with
me,
the editing.
Yeah, it's like it's like BG says he can't editing of a movie knocks him out of the experience. Whenever I bring this stuff up and people say, what, can characters just not be stupid? And I'm like, they can, but that's a part of their character trait. Otherwise, if characters are just doing something stupid for plot convenience, that's just a writer being lazy.
When it directly affects the plot, that's when I have a problem with it.
Exactly. Same thing. And even though I love the movie Pacific Rim Uprising, I can point out all the writing problems with that film, but I still love it because the thing I went there for, the giant monsters and the giant robots, they at least got that right. But, like the Chinese lady, she went from heel to face. I'm like, did Vince McMahon write this? What the hell? She was a total bitch, and now she's just like, I'm gonna totally save the main characters, Chinese audience.
Yep. Essentially. I mean, McMahon might have written it. I mean, was there a Roman Reigns character in there somewhere too?
No.
Did he take the belt?
No. I wish. That would have made it funny. But yeah, I understand, and what you're describing is a writer's room, and they do have other writers at the company, like Nomad of Nowhere, I believe it's called. Miles and Carrie have nothing to do with that series. But you could bring on other people to take over. Like Miles can focus on Camp as much as he wants. Carrie can continue to direct RWBY if he wants, or he could go and do whatever he wants. Bring somebody in that can work on that full time. That way, when the writing's done and the production crew is taking off with the animation and all that stuff, you're back in the writer's room writing this stuff down, as opposed to Miles and Carrie, where they're like, oh, I gotta work on Camp and then this, or I gotta work on this and then this.
Stop overworking them.
Exactly.
It's if it comes down to, and the argument I've heard is that, oh, they don't have the money to hire somebody. I'm like, that's bullshit. If you're not paying them to work on all of these different projects and you just hire other writers to write each individual project, it's actually cheaper than paying them the overtime they have to charge.
I can do one better. In Hollywood, most of the writers and screenwriters for most films, they're freelance. They're not part of the production company. They're just contracted to write a screenplay, and once that screenplay is done, they're out of here. If they need to do rewrites, they either bring that person back or they get somebody else to write it. It's rare for you to see like two people on a screenplay, because most of the time it's more than two people. One person writes this draft and it gets rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. So if they can't hire people, just have somebody write the first screenplay, give them like some points, like we need to get here, here, and here, get us there. He writes that, and Miles and Carrie can look at the finished script and edit it to their own satisfaction if they're really overworked. You don't have to hire somebody on part-time, especially if you can hire these voice actors, these big-name voice actors. If you have the money to do that, writers are probably cheaper than actors. So you could easily do that. Just let's just be completely honest here. I think Nomad of Nowhere is not going to last another season. All the money you spent, put into that, invested in more in RWBY, and hire contractual writers to help lessen the load for Miles and Carrie.
Yeah.
Or
no, you're not wrong.
At the very least, back when we were editing heavy, if we had an important project and we were just like, okay, I want this to be the best that we could, we would send it to each other and just like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this part? Tell me what I should do. Write out the script and then just go to your friends, just like, hey, do you see anything wrong with it? Do you see any plot holes? Is this funny? Can this be punched up? Something. But when Fat Man Fallen is making almost a 3-hour video on season 3, that's a problem.
I am curious. So, for I believe the last 4 seasons of Red vs. Blue.
Oh, here we go.
Bernie did not want to write Red vs. Blue anymore. But people just kept telling them, but it's your project, it's your baby, you need to keep writing it. So he did. I'm curious if this might be a similar situation. Where it's just like, you were there with Monty, you guys have to keep writing when they want to do other things.
If they're that keen to fold to peer pressure when they know they're overworked, that's not an excuse.
Exactly. And
Bernie is not overworked. Bernie does not have to deal with that much. When you're at that far up, you're just doing a lot of face-to-face meeting and making business decisions. He has a lot of free time to make that writing for the script. I can assure you of that.
If you were not satisfied with your work, if you did not want to do this, you wouldn't go up to RTX and sing the praises of this crew and just go, we're having a great time, this is great. He would not show up, or he would be very down. And I've seen parts of panels where they're smiling, they're laughing, they're having a good time. I don't think that they would be like that if they did not want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Either that or they're good actors, and we know that's not true.
Yep.
I'm just saying that they might not want to write for it anymore, or at least be a part of that. They might be part of that part of the process.
we haven't seen that said at all anywhere. They haven't even.
It wasn't said. Bernie didn't say anything about it until like season 13 of Red vs. Blue.
Well, that's
3 years after he stopped writing.
Well, let's also face it. Red vs. Blue is pale in comparison to the fandom popularity that RWBY has. So, I mean, by this point, with how much attention is on them for this, if they had even hinted at that at any forum or at any, conversation, it would be everywhere. We've heard nothing.
Or it could just be like they've been enjoying the high for as long as it has. Like Volume 1, everyone loved it. Volume 2, everyone loved it. Volume 3, that was arguably its peak. They were at the top of the mountain, and it's been downhill. So it could
quality, not ratings. It's still up there when it comes to the praise, even though season 5 isn't the best.
I know, but now that more and more eyes are on RWBY, and more people are becoming aware of it, dissecting it, trying to figure out, okay, why is this so popular? And more people are coming out and saying, this is overhyped, and these two are just not good at what they're doing. That could be what eventually makes them go, I don't want to do this anymore. They can't handle that pressure. So if they haven't thought of just stopping soon, I mean, now they will soon. Because, like Mike, you and I, back when I was still following Rooster Teeth, we saw Carrie every time he was ever on camera. He looked drained. Yeah, just tired and drained.
All the time. And now he's getting people, and he's probably is getting people toxic, telling him that he's garbage and worthless, basically are attacking him as a person, and eventually he'll probably just get tired of it and just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So, if anything, he could probably fall off first, but I don't know. This pressure could be getting to them now, so if they haven't said, I don't want to do this anymore, I think they will soon, unless they turn the ship around. Oh boy, is that a hard to port.
Yeah, that is.
There's also the point that this RWBY, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, this was just like a project between friends in the beginning, yeah?
Basically.
Basically.
So you still have to keep that up. If you just walk away, you're walking away from your friends, your boss's wife, your girlfriend's exes, and deals in Japan with video games and stuff. You're walking away from all of this, and the person that comes next could be an even bigger disappointment, and that also falls on your shoulder. So maybe they're just like, we're gonna keep on this ship just so it could get better, but it could get worse. And if it gets worse, people will stop watching, and then a bunch of our friends and families and exes and stuff are out of the job. So we just stand on course.
The gold mine is officially depleted, essentially. Like if they keep going and people just keep leaving it, then yeah, deals and all that stuff will eventually leave, and they'll be like, okay, we tried at least. Yeah, I can see that happening too.
All right.
Well, this has been an experience.
How's your guys' day been?
Oh, actually, it's been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I have a headache.
Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't like that.
Oh, too much laughing. Alrighty.
Earlier at work, don't buy breakfast food, people. It's animals. People walking around barefoot. People bringing in DVDs and just playing, and it's just like, people don't care. But there was this old lady. My boss has an old lady who lived next to her, and she was just like, she gave me this homemade jelly. You want to try some? I'm like, yeah, I want to try some homemade jelly.
Why?
It was raspberry lemonade jelly, and it was the best jelly that I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
Huh. Just like, does she sell this? What are we doing? What do I got to do to get some more of this?
She's
and
old.
she goes, well, she's moved down to Mississippi. I was like, oh, when's she coming back? You're like, she ain't. Oh, you trying to sell that jar of? She's like, nope. So I'm never gonna taste that again, and I am super salty about it.
Does this woman have a PayPal? I will make it worth her while.
A little old lady, as she was described. So she ain't touching a computer. She probably still got a flip phone.
If she has that.
Rotary phone.
How do you know my mother?
No, that's fine. The NSA can't track her, so
Yeah, there you go.
keep that.
All
So,
right.
yeah, just dealing with love being stripped away from me again.
Now you know. Well, you probably have a semblance of how I feel.
That should will end this special episode. I'm thinking it's gonna be like the Rubying.
The Rubying.
Rubying.
Yep.
Hey, we're our own little Ruby gang.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
We might as well be. Nobody
let's
else
see.
wants us.
So we got.
Not the fandom don't want none of this, to quote BG.
Let's see. Hold
They
on.
don't want it.
Wait. Now that's been said. Let's see. I'm opening up a Word document. We're gonna find our anagram.
Oh, this ain't happening.
Oh, this is happening.
Oh no.
Oh,
See, we
boy.
got KMR and A. Team Karma.
Oh my god!
How is that a color?
I don't care. That's what I typed. I was like, wow.
Cardinal could be a bird. It could be a tree. It could be anything.
We also have Team Mark.
There's also Ranger. It's not a color. Who cares?
Kinbar. Oh my god. I'm done.
Ram. We got Ramp.
Team Ramp. We get blown away by coffee.
I like Team Karma.
I like Team Karma.
I
a
like
lot.
Team Karma.
All right, we are Team Karma.
Jeez.
Let's make the 2200 or the podcast of stuff crew. That's Team Mark. We've already established that we're Team
Yep.
Mark. So this is Team Karma.
What a
All
bunch
right.
of marks.
So from us here at Team Karma,
I hate it so much.
I hate it and love it at the same time.
I hate it.
we will. I think DA, you're on this train now. So
Now, here's the real question. What it's also a gun weapon would TA have? What would be his weapon?
A spatula and a gun.
It's SpongeBob's golden spatula.
It has lightning dust built in.
Oh.
We flipping today, homie.
He would just be with his fists out of spite. Let's be real.
No guns.
Just
Brass knuckles.
I'm
But we can add a gun attachment to the no,
Yep.
you can't.
Just like
He's
just
from
like
He's got a Detroit semblance. He's got resistance to guns.
Yes!
What's your semblance name? Detroit.
Detroit.
What does it do? Deflects bullets.
Oh, he's the most overpowered dude. You can't shoot him. No, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him.
There's a drawback. What is it? He can never have money in his wallet.
His bad eye, and he aims with that eye.
He aims with an eye patch.
Yep.
oh my lord.
Ooh.
So you're gonna be there for the beginning of Volume 6.
Oh yeah.
You
oh yeah.
hopped
He's there
on
for
this
that.
bus and you are not getting off.
Nope. Welcome to the team.
Just don't join the fandom, and it will be worth your
I
while.
absolutely won't. I'm sticking on the Ruby thing because it's not boring. It's very interesting.
Yes.
If nothing
Yes.
else.
All right.
Okay.
It's teaching me how to hate watch something like
Oh.
my brother do.
And you will learn that joy. And it is a joy like none other.
I am slowly doing just that.
Alrighty. Thank you everybody for tuning in to this 2.5 hour episode. So you got 6.5 hours of podcasting right now.
And we gotta do this again tomorrow. Man, I'm gonna be pulling like 8 hours in a week. My goodness.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. We will see you at the beginning of Volume 6. And for those of you that want to hear at least 3 of us ramble on incessantly like assholes, tune in every Wednesday now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the podcast of stuff.
Yeah, listen to Team Mark jumble about random stuff.
Oh yes, Team Mark. Team Mark and Team KRMA. What have I done?
Way to go, Mike.
See you guys.
Replay,
Later.
so.